All right, well, here we are today. We are ready to get started with poetry again. I hope you've enjoyed listening to the different poets on the beginning of each ELA lesson. And you're going to be your own poet today. You've got to turn in your poem to me today. So that'll be a part of your assignments. So I hope you've been working on it this week and are ready to get that turned in. It's going to count as a grade. Well, I want you today to read the poems in the book by yourself one more time. Maybe it'll help you get some ideas of things that you can include in your poem, whether it be some of the figurative language that we talked about, similes, metaphors, alliteration, personification, sensory words, any of those things that we've talked about. Hope you'll use some visualization so that I can use my senses when I read your poem, maybe taste, touch, smell, hear, see something, feel something. So I want you to try to include those in your poem as you're writing them today. You'll be reading the story in the book, the poems in the book again today by yourself. Tomorrow we'll have a test on them, so make sure you do them. Read them again to keep them fresh on your mind. You'll also have a test on the vocabulary for this week, so I just want to go over these words again with these cards. And so the first word was necessary. If something's necessary, it is needed, and you can't do without it. We can't do without food, can we? We've got to eat to keep our energy up, to give us vitamins and nutrients we need to stay alive. Eating is necessary. What else is necessary in that picture? Well, if you're eating some things like green beans, it's kind of necessary to use a fork or spoon, isn't it? I guess you could eat them with your finger, but you might get pretty messy. And necessary to have a cup of some kind to drink water out of. Otherwise, water's got to have something to stay in anyway. So necessary, you've got to have it. Unsurpassed. If something's unsurpassed, there's nothing that's better. Oh, that looks like maybe, I don't know if it's the beach. It looks pretty calm, but there's not much better than sitting and looking at a sunrise or sunset on the beach. It's unsurpassed, isn't it? It's one of the best things to relax to do. Next word is stir. Remember, we're not stirring something with a spoon. If you cause a stir, you create strong feelings such as excitement or shock. Maybe the teacher said, "Who has a Valentine's date?" And everybody goes, "Me, me, me." She caused a stir with that question. I doubt that's what she asked, but they're excited about something, aren't they? They're in a stir. Okay. Extraordinarily. If something is done extraordinarily, it's very unusual or remarkable in some way. Maybe this guy is writing a song right here. Maybe he's not just writing a poem, but he's writing a song. That would be extraordinarily cool to have him write a song and play it and sing it too. Cruising on the canoe here. These guys are little float there. Cruising, you're traveling in a boat for fun. That looks like a lot of fun there, getting with your family out on the river or somewhere quiet and paddling down the river. Plunges. Something plunges into something, it falls or is thrown in that direction. That waterfall just plunges right off the side of that hill, doesn't it? Down below. I think that's it. Yeah. So those are our vocabulary words for this week. Well, I've got one more poem that I've written that I want to share with you. And this one I wrote about books. And I used a simile in my first line of this poem. Do you see it? I'm comparing a book to a vacation. So this poem is all about the simile of a book being a vacation. So here's my poem. A book is like a vacation. My mind travels to a faraway place. I can leave my troubles behind and join the adventure I choose. New faces, new places, new things to see. Won't you pick one up and come vacation with me? Now, I wasn't really trying to make it a rhyming poem. A couple of things rhymed, but I wasn't necessarily trying to make this poem rhyme. It just ended up doing that. So my whole poem, the idea behind this poem is a book takes you to a faraway place. A book is like a vacation. It's this simile. It's this figurative language. And so the rest of my poem stays around that theme that a book is like a vacation, right? So the rest of my poem tells how a book is like a vacation because it makes my mind travel to a faraway place like I was going on vacation far away. I can leave my troubles behind. Usually when we go on vacation, your parents get to take off work, and maybe you get to take off school, leave those troubles behind and go on some adventure that you choose to go on, maybe the beach, maybe the mountains. And when you go, you get to see new faces. You read about new characters in the book that you've never met before, new places, new things to see. And so it ends with a question. Won't you pick one up? Pick what up? A book, and come vacation with me. So thinking about this, the theme here that a book is like a vacation, it reminds me that we've talked about theme this year, haven't we? And so we've talked about the theme. You actually did an activity, a couple of weeks ago where you read some paragraphs and you picked out the theme of those paragraphs. The theme is the main message, the lesson or the moral of the text. The poem I just wrote about books, the main message was that a book reminds me of a vacation. The theme can be stated in text like mine was. It said what the theme was. Fables and myths might tell the theme at the end. The theme can be implied. That means it doesn't just say it. You have to kind of figure it out by asking yourself these questions. What happens to characters? How do characters react? What do the characters learn? How do characters grow and change? You could ask, what is the author trying to teach me? Some examples of themes could be, more can be achieved by working together. It's best to tell the truth and don't give up. I could have assigned a theme for our poems that I wanted you to turn in. I could have said, okay, everybody has to write a poem about their favorite food and given you a theme. Some of you would be like, yay, at least I know what I'm going to write about. And some of you have been like, oh, I wanted to write about my pet or whatever. I decided not to give you a theme, the main message of our poems, because I wanted you to be creative and write about whatever you wanted to write about. But your poem will have its own theme, won't it? It'll be about something. It'll be about a certain topic. And then the rest of your poem will tell about that topic. So you'll be using a theme in the poem that you write. So I want you today, just like I said, one more time, I want you to read our story full of poems. Read it one more time together. But I want to give you a lot of time today to finish your poem and turn it in to me. Now I have a Google Doc assigned to you, but pretty much it's blank. So on your Google document, one second, let me go to the docs here. Where's my docs? There they are. So on your Google document that I sent to you to turn in, you can do a lot of things with your poem. I just wanted to show you a few things here. So you've got all these tools up here. You've got these different things. You can insert pictures. You can do lots of different designs. Let's see. So if I want to show you a couple things here you might do with your poem. Let me get myself out of the way here. So you can kind of scroll through here and see kind of what you can add, what kind of things you can put in there. You can do images, tables, drawings, charts, special characters. You can scroll down through here and see all these things. You can format the text. You can make the words look different. You can put headers and footers. Go through your tools here as you're doing this and think about how you want your poem to ride. Of course, you can use these tools. I've showed you these before. If I just put my cat, Shasta, okay, you can highlight it, click and highlight it. You can make it all big at the same time. You can make your text big. You can change right here you can change it to different styles. You can change it to different fonts. Let's say you want to make it look fancy. You can choose a different font. It's called the lobster font. Don't know why it's called that, but it is. You can make it bold or underline or italicized rather. You can change the color. So Shasta is gray, so I can change it to gray. You can do that. You can do all kinds of things. If you want to add a picture to your poem, remember you go to Insert, Image. You can search the web, and you can type in over here, gray cat. Sorry, that would be my daughter checking in. Gray cat. Oh, that looks like Shasta right there. You can put a picture of it with your poem, whatever you want to do. So whoops, I cut off Shasta, didn't I? So you can be creative with your poem that you have to turn in. And you don't have to have pictures. It's just up to you. As long as you write me a poem, you can make the words creative. You can just do it all black letters and just turn it in. But however you do it, I want you to make it sure it's your poem and make sure you've spent some time thinking about it. And I look forward to reading your poems this afternoon. Okay, get to work. You do have an adjective activity to do for me as well today. Then tomorrow we'll have our spelling test and our story test. See you then.